people who only like one genre of music, I don't like those kinds of people. Um, and honestly, it's not so much that they only listen to one genre. It's that they listen to that one genre, but say that all the other ones are bad. It's like if I walk up to somebody and ask them, "Hey, what's your favorite genre of music?" and they say, let's say, for example, metal or something, like any kind of metal, whatever. Yeah, and I say, "Cool," and I ask them, um, what other genres do you like? And they say, well, that's the only kind of music I listen to, and everything else is is bad. That kind of makes me want to um, leave and stop talking to you for good, because when you decide to only choose when you choose to listen to a single genre of music and then declare that everything else is bad, you're cutting yourself off from an entire world of music. And honestly, I don't feel like you have the right to say that you love music, because you don't. You like that single genre, and that's it. And to you, everything else is bad. So, what right do you have to say that you love music when you think everything else is bad? What person that loves music or claims to love music says that everything else besides what they like is bad? And what makes me even more mad about it is that when they say that they hate these genres, yet they have never listened to them before. They decide to stereotype those genres, like rap. It's all swearing and sex and drugs and cars and whatever, money. When you have so many great rappers, out there that rap about such, introspective and brilliant things. You know, they say that, like, well, if you have it on the other foot, metal, it's all just like Satanism and loud noise and screeching and everything. But there are so many great metal bands out there that do some really great music. I'm sorry. you know, or jazz or whatever. I hear a lot of people say that they don't listen to, old music that's like before the 90s simply because it's old. I've heard a lot of people say that old music is bad just because it's old. They've never heard, the Beatles, they never heard Miles Davis or Duke Ellington or any of those people. Those are just a few examples. I know there's tons, but, they say that they don't listen to these, musicians and artists that have, brought music forward. They say they don't listen to them just because they're old, just because they're from an older time. People that were born in like the mid to late 90s. A lot of people saying this. They only listen to bands like past, like 1996 or something, and say that everything before then is bad. And a lot of them, I've heard one person in particular say that their favorite band, had they been around before, like they were born, then they wouldn't listen to them simply because they're old. That is stupid. That is a stupid idealism right there. And you are, I don't want to sound rude, but you are stupid for thinking so. Might sound a little bit rude, but I mean, in terms of music, we're talking music here, that makes you sound really, really stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be blunt as I possibly can. Makes you sound dumb when you say something like that. People who really, people who know me know how passionate I am about music. Sorry again. And, know how I feel about a lot of this. I talk about music nonstop with a lot of people. They know, that I know quite a bit about, music and whatnot. So if you come to me saying stuff like that, saying like, I only listen to one genre because everything else is considered bad, then, I don't know if we can honestly be friends by that point, because, I mean, I don't really want to, talk about music with you if you have no idea what music even is, because all you do is listen to that single genre of music, maybe even like a single artist, And like I said, it's not so much people saying that they only listen to one genre because they do. It's when people say that they listen to one genre but say that everything else is bad. That's insulting to me. That's insulting to a lot of people. You know I don't know how other people would feel about it, but they'd probably think the same thing that I do. That's a very stupid idealism, and that you are indeed stupid for thinking something like that. But that's just what's been on my mind lately. A lot of people who say, they only listen to a single genre, because I've dealt with a lot of people like this before, and it infuriates me when they say that everything else is bad besides what they decide to listen to. What they choose to listen to is, all that's good out there, and everything else is bad when they've never even, attempted to discover all these different forms of music. I mean, I listen, if I can name off as many as I can, and I'm sorry if I repeat myself because I might lose track, I listen to pop, funk, jazz, rock and roll, throughout all ages, by the way. That's like from the 50s to the 90s. Let's see, like psychedelic rock especially is one of my favorites, or acid, rock, psychedelic soul. I think I already said soul, but whatever. And like, there's so many genres out there. I'm just saying, I could be listening to like the Beatles one minute because they're my favorite band. I could be listening to Metallica the next minute. I could be listening to Louis Armstrong the next minute. I could be listening to Led Zeppelin the next minute after that, so on and so forth. It's just, there are so many forms of music, so many amazing forms of music, and you choose to pick only one to listen to and stick with it, and never even, attempt to discover anything else. I can understand people having a favorite genre. I know my personal favorite genres are, funk and rock and roll, like mainly 50s and 60s rock and roll. Those are my favorite genres, plus soul. But I don't listen to those constantly and say that everything else is bad, because it's not. I mean, there are a lot of genres that I don't particularly like, but there are really no genres that I hate. I mean, I'll listen to anything once. Just the other day I was listening to some stuff that I was like, oh, that's kind of bad. But I didn't say it was bad. I didn't think it was bad. I was just like, this is a form of music that people enjoy. It was a form of metal. I believe it's called porno grind. Because I was watching a lot of like metal videos, trying to get myself into metal a bit more. Because I do like metal, but I'm not like the biggest fan of metal. So I was like, oh, porno grind, sounds interesting. So I listened to it, and it was it was disgusting. But I accepted the fact that it was a form of music. I didn't enjoy it, but I accepted. I said to myself, self, this is something that people listen to, and that people can somehow enjoy, and I accept that fact, that it is a form of music. As much as it may sound like it is not, it is a form of music, and a lot of people, will say that about a lot of different genres. A lot of people, I've heard someone say that songs without lyrics are not considered songs at all, which is stupid, because there are a lot of artists that write a lot of instrumental music, which is just as good as a song with lyrics, or even better sometimes. Not every song has to have lyrics or words or singing at all. It can just be instrumental. So that was a stupid, thing to say too. But I'm just trying to say, this is how I've been feeling. Just something I've been thinking about. It makes me kind of upset. In fact, it makes me really upset, because it's just, music is like a necessity of life, in my opinion. We need music to get by. I mean, even like the simplest things that you listen to or hear could be used as music. That's what we call avant-garde. Unconventional stuff. Just me tapping on this desk right here could be put in a song. But nobody would know it because they don't listen to anything else besides whatever they choose to listen to. So, and I just want to reiterate, it's not that they listen to one thing, it's just that they listen to one thing and say that everything else is bad. That's what I'm trying to get across. I'm not saying that I'm mad because they choose to listen to one genre of music or one artist or whatever, because somebody may love one genre and, you know, they have like metal elitists, and I don't like metal elitists because they're those kinds of people, as far as I know. Not trying to bash anybody, but you know, they're the kind of people that would say, you know, this form of metal is the best and everything else sucks. You know, that's not what I feel. You know, I mean, I'm trying to get myself into metal, like I said, and, you know, I'm listening to like groove metal, metalcore, which a lot of people don't consider to be metal, but, you know, still thrash metal, you know, all different forms of metal. I'm just listening to a bunch, you know, snippets, and then when I find something that I really, really like, then, you know, hopefully I'll get into it more. I mean, this might sound very unmetal of me, but, as of right now, I don't know a lot of metal bands. I do like Metallica, though. But anyways, that's not important. I will hopefully get into more metal bands and more metal styles and subgenres and whatever later on. But my point is that, you know, music is important, and we should all, you know, go out and listen to different things. You know, listen to things that you've never heard before. I mean, I find new forms of music all the time because, you know, I decide to just discover it. You know, I just choose to be like, well, this sounds interesting. Like, just the title of the genre is like, Like, today I was doing a review. I'm working on a review. I'm not going to say what it is, but I was working on a review, and there was a well, I don't know if it's a genre or subgenre called chillwave, and I was like, one of the songs in the album was considered chillwave or glo-fi, and I was like, I've never heard that before. So, you know, well, that's just an example again. But anyways, this is just what's been on my mind. I just wanted to, you know, share. I don't know if any of you guys care about it. You know, maybe there are some of you out there that do that thing with listening to one genre and saying everything else is bad. And for that, if I offended you, well, good, because you deserve it. Anyways, I look forward to some reviews coming soon. And that was just what was in my, you know, what's in my opinion. So thank you for watching, and so long.